DG, we'll start with the big one at Kenan Stadium this week. 4-5 Wake Forest at 5-4 North Carolina. 8 o'clock Saturday night in Chapel Hill. Tar Heels open as an 11-point favorite.
Yeah, this has been a lopsided rivalry in favor of the Tar Heels dating all the way back to the 1880s. All time, Carolina has won about 2/3 of these head-to-head games against Wake Forest. And more recently, Carolina has won 4 of the past 5 matchups, usually in pretty entertaining, high-scoring affairs. The Heels' 3 consecutive victories in this series have been by scores of 59-53, 58-55, and 36-34. So definitely high scoring, but also nail biters that could have gone either way. UNC's last 2 games, the dominating road victories over Virginia and Florida State, were probably the Tar Heels' 2 most complete games of the season. On defense, the return of the edge rusher Kamen Rucker from injury has been absolutely huge. It is not easy for any single player on an 11-man defensive unit to make such an enormous difference, but that is exactly what Rucker has done this season. In Carolina's best defensive games of the season, against Minnesota way back in the opener, but also UVA and FSU, Rucker was among those leading the way with sacks and other big plays. In Carolina's defensive meltdowns, remember the giving up the 70 burger to James Madison, losing that 20-0 second half lead at Duke, also giving up pretty big numbers to Pitt and Georgia Tech. Kamen Rucker in those 4 games either played only a handful of snaps or did not play at all. That's the stark contrast in the Heels with and without Rucker. Offensively, meanwhile, the running back All-American Omarion Hampton has been a stud all season. But the 5th-year senior quarterback, Jacoby Criswell, who remember started as the Tar Heels' 3rd stringer way back in August, he's gradually become much more efficient in the passing game behind that inexperienced offensive line that has gradually gotten better this season. On the other side, Wake Forest is at risk of missing the postseason for the 2nd straight season after setting that school record with 7 straight bowl trips under Coach Dave Clawson. The Demon Deacons still have to deal with a road trip to Miami, remember. So at 4-5, if they want to get to 6 wins and an automatic bowl eligibility status this year, they're almost certainly going to have to beat both the Heels on Saturday in Chapel Hill and Duke later this year in Winston-Salem in that regular season finale. As we've said all season, the Deacs have a very capable, even explosive offense. Quality players at quarterback in Hank Bachmeier, running back in Damon Claiborne, wide receiver in Taylor Morin. The Deacs just have not been able to stop or sometimes even slow down their opponents consistently. They're next to last in the ACC in scoring defense at 33 points per game. So they're going to need to create turnovers on defense and put up a big number offensively if they're going to upset the Heels at Kenan Stadium.